The Lady Raiders came into the game looking to hold on to that final playoff spot. Monet Baker recognized for a 1,000 point during pregame. Late in the first half, Megan Kerrigan makes the layup. Westchester goes up 44-32. They would take that score into the half. In the second half, Shippensburg made a strong 8-0 run to narrow the deficit to 12 as Morgan Taylor drives in and puts in the layup, but it would not be enough. The ladies fall 85-67. The men look to win their 10th game of the season and play spoilers to the Golden Rams' playoff hopes. In the second half, Craig Van Syok got shipped back in the game with not one, not two, not three, but 4 straight three-pointers, narrowing the lead to 1. But costly offensive mistakes and turnovers hurt the Red Raiders toward the end. They fall 71-63. Well, we have seen the basketball teams go through their ups and downs this season. The women looked to get on a winning streak, and the men were looking to bounce back from a tough loss. The Mansfield Mountaineers were in town last Saturday. Let's check out the highlights. The Lady Raiders taking on the Mansfield Mountaineers. Early on, Ship down by 3, but Cody McMaster hits the three-pointer from the far side, tying the game at 21. Toward the end of the first half, a fast break by Shauna Wirt. She's able to put it in, and she's fouled along the way. Wirt would add the 1, Ship up by 2 at the half. In the second half, Monet Baker, she has just been on fire lately, putting in the layup, beating 2 defenders, 18 points, 7 rebounds on the afternoon. The girls would pull away and win this one 73-60. The men came in last Saturday looking to bounce back after a rough loss to Kutztown. Late in the half, Ship up by 4, but Reggie Charles adds a big 3 before the horn. And senior captain Craig Van Syok showing some love for his freshman teammate. Van Syok had an impressive game, a career-high 24 points as he nails one of his 5 three-pointers on the day. Ship gets back on the winning side, 90-78. Well, the men's basketball teams will be back at Higas Fieldhouse Wednesday night to take on Westchester. While there is a battle on the court that night, Shippensburg Athletics is asking for your help in another battle. Wednesday, Shippensburg basketball fans will be wearing more pink than the typical red and blue, as Shippensburg, along with several other colleges across the country, look to raise breast cancer awareness with the Women's Basketball Coaches Association's Pink Zone.
It originally started as the Think Pink initiative, and then a few years later turned into the Pink Zone, and just this past year they changed it to Play for K.
Play for K is named after the late North Carolina State women's basketball coach Kay Yao, who lost her long-time battle with breast cancer in 2009. Yao's charity for cancer research, the Kay Yao Cancer Fund, has joined with the WBCA as the national initiative of the Pink Zone event.
Kay Yao is a very, very popular, very successful women's basketball coach, and she lost her battle to breast cancer about 3 years ago, and that's really when they started moving the title of the initiative to really focus on Kay Yao, because it's just bringing a bigger name, because if you're familiar with women's basketball, you're going to be familiar with that name, so I think they've really tried to address the branding to hopefully raise some more awareness and raise more funds.
Since the event began in 2007, Shippensburg has raised thousands of dollars to go toward cancer research.
Last year was our biggest success, and I believe it was over about $7,000. We will be raising money again this year. We're doing a silent auction, and we're doing some t-shirt sales, and try to engage into some different activities to get people involved and also raise some funds.
Turnout has always been high for the event. In the past, it's been held on Saturday afternoons, but the hope is that the same crowd will come out on Wednesday evening.
We provide free admission for anybody wearing pink. This year will be interesting because it's actually on a Wednesday night, as it's traditionally been on a Saturday midday game. So it'll be interesting. I'm hoping we get some more student turnout.
The event is also a part of the Peace Act's Hooping for Cure awareness and fundraising effort. Colleges Against Cancer, the Women's Center, and the Women's Athletic Sorority Tau Kappa will also take part in the event. The women's game begins at 6 p.m., followed by the men's game at 8 p.m. SUTV will have the game for you on Channel 82 on campus and 21 off campus. Watch it online at ship.edu/Go Raiders. And remember, you can get in for free if you wear pink.
Softball wasn't the only sport in action Tuesday afternoon. Right next door, the lacrosse team had a game as well. Sean Gallagher has a recap of the action from Rob Sports Complex.
The Shippensburg lacrosse team looked to get back to 500 in conference play as they hosted Kutztown on Tuesday. Starting in the second half, Ship up 6-1. Bennick Woodlake finds teammate Lauren Hawk right in front. Ship takes a 6-goal lead, but the Golden Bears would stage a comeback as Leanne Picca narrows the deficit to 2 with a goal, 8-6 Shippensburg. The Red Raiders would respond with Garrett Grenfell scoring the next 2 goals, giving Ship some breathing room. The Red Raiders never looked back as they took home their second conference win, outlasting Kutztown 15-7.
Football team has started gearing up for 2012. Sean Gallagher paid a visit to the spring practice this week.
While it seems just like yesterday the 2011 season ended, spring football ushers in the unofficial start of the 2012 season for Shippensburg. The pads come back on, the rust comes off, and it gives Coach Mark Macheski and his coaching staff a blueprint of what they will be working with for the upcoming season.
The biggest thing for the spring is kind of get the people to fit in the right spots. I always talk about, it's like a big bus. We got to get the right people on the bus, the wrong people off the bus, and then once we get the right people on the bus, we got to find the right seats for them. And the right seats are the right positions, and put them in the best position to succeed. And so that's what we're trying to do over the springtime here.
The 4-team practices build up to the annual red-white game on Saturday, and with cuts on the horizon, younger players have a chance to impress the staff.
We've had some guys, and the 2 freshman quarterbacks, Lawshy and Moyer, they've done a great job this spring, and so we're excited about our young kids too.
With only 5 players graduating from last year's team, Shippensburg has several starters returning on both the offensive and defensive side of the ball for 2012.
We got a lot of good guys coming back, a lot of senior leadership coming back, and we're very excited about that. But we got a lot of returners in a lot of key positions, and as long as we continue to improve and we fill some other spots on the team with some guys in the program, we're going to be okay.
Last season, Shippensburg surprised many in the PSAC with a 7-4 record. But Coach Mark Macheski and the rest of his team knows they can improve on that.
We left a lot on the table. Last year, we scored 40 points a game or something like that during our win streak, but we also only scored 21 points a game during our losing streaks.
The bar has been raised, and with those expectations brings motivation.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to sneak up on anybody this year, that's for sure. But, it's good because it's going to make us work harder. We're going to be more competitive. We got to compete in everything we do. We got to finish games. We got to be consistent with what we're doing, and we got to pay attention to the little things. And hopefully that translates into wins next year.
And those little things being the fundamentals of the game.
If we can fundamentally get better at football and less penalties and less turnovers, we're going to be top notch. We're only lost a couple players, and we're going to be good. We're going to be real good.
Sean Gallagher, SUTV Sports.
Thanks, guys. New year, a new head coach, brand new offense, and a 7-4 record. These are the Red Raider football highlights. James Brennan shows us the meaning of defense with this nasty interception as he goes all the way to the end zone for a sweet pick 6. Fans were stunned all year long as Rashawn McCain shows us some dance moves on the way to the end zone here, letting all the defenders in the dust. Coach Mack was always surprised by his team's ability to pull off the impossible, and Mike Fournette went all over the field here, making numerous defenders miss as he scores an amazing touchdown. President Rude was even speechless as Trevor Harmon scored this touchdown by somehow placing 1 foot in bounds. And they have a promising showing for next season. Sean?
All right, thanks, Trey. Well, we move from the gridiron to the hardwood to take a look back at Shippensburg's men and women's basketball teams. The men put together a 10-win season. Meanwhile, the women qualified for the PSAC playoffs. Let's take a look back at the highlights.
Let's begin our recap with a 3-pointer from junior Dana Wirt. Wirt was 36% from 3-point range on the season. You could call her the team's MVP as senior Monet Baker down low making the basket. Sophomore Sarah Strybuck with a far side 3 against Cheney. Strybuck showing Coach Turn what she can do, and she will have a big impact on the future. On the men's side, freshman Reggie Charles made an impact this season, a 3-pointer against Cheney, a sign of what is to come for the men's team. A top play of the year, you could say, as Charles alley-oops the ball to fellow freshman Sam Pygott in an exciting win over Cheney. Dylan Egger, great forward play down low, finishes off Dane Lauber's shot, and senior Will Royal was a force down low on both ends of the court this season. And that was your 2011-2012 season recap of Shippensburg men and women's basketball.
Both teams will look to improve for next season. Bubba, what do you got?
Thanks, Sean. Well, it was a record-breaking season for both the men and women Diamond Dwellers. Let's catch up on some Raiders softball and baseball.
The softball team completed their season with 19 wins, including a big upset late in the year over top-ranked Kutztown. Though they lost late in the PSAC tournament, the Lady Raiders look forward to developing their young talent over the offseason. Let's head across campus to Fairchild Field now, where the Red Raiders baseball team made history this season. Senior closer Cody Kibler set an all-time record for saves in a single season. SU Sluggers hit 3 home runs in one game for the first time since 2009, and the team won 30 games for the first time since their World Series playoff berth in 2008.
And good luck to the men tonight as they play Mercyhurst. That does it for our season in review. Back to you guys.
Sean Gallagher, he is the man of Shippensburg Student Media TV and radio. Sean, how are you feeling today?
Tired. Bubba and Trey were out. We were doing the sports recap. I think it was about 100 degrees out today.
It was, and we started shooting about an hour before it had to be.
Exactly. It was last up to the minute. I had to run down from the top floor of the Cub down to here to pass off the tape. Just the fast, high adrenaline that TV has here.
You had to go after my baseball after I hit it 5 times.
Exactly.
Like my packages.
Exactly. But I've really enjoyed my time here. I'm what you would call maybe a late bloomer when it comes to student media, especially with TV. I joined as a senior, but I enjoyed every moment being a part of SUTV. This is an incredible family, incredible work that I've seen here. You know, I've seen so many other college television productions, but
we're the best.
Yeah, in my time here, this has just been incredible, and I've learned so much. I'll take so much with me, and just thank you to everybody who made this a great experience for me.